In Act 1, Scene 1 of King Lear, the Earl of Kent and the Earl of Gloucester are talking about what's been happening in the kingdom. Kent asks about Gloucester's son Edmund, and Gloucester jokes about Edmund's conception. King Lear enters with the Dukes of Albany and Cornwall, his daughters Goneril, Regan, and Cordelia, and some servants. Lear says he's ready to divide his kingdom among his 3 daughters. He'll give the largest portion to the daughter who loves him most. Goneril and Regan both give over-the-top and gushing answers, so Lear gives each of them a third of his kingdom. He then asks Cordelia, who refuses to make any outrageously ostentatious claim about how much she loves him. She says her love is richer than her tongue. Furious, Lear disowns Cordelia and splits her third of the kingdom between her 2 sisters. Kent tries to advise the king against his actions, so Lear banishes Kent for interfering. Cordelia's suitors, the Duke of Burgundy and the King of France, enter. When Burgundy learns Cordelia no longer carries a dowry, he decides not to marry her. But the King of France accepts Cordelia as his wife without a dowry. Everyone leaves except the King of France and Lear's 3 daughters. Cordelia tells her sisters, "I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Love well our father." Regan tells Cordelia to leave them alone. Goneril says Cordelia needs to focus on pleasing her husband. So, Cordelia and her husband leave. Once Goneril and Regan are alone, they talk about how Lear is changing with age and how they'll need to act to address this. In this first scene, Shakespeare introduces all the themes of the play, and he sets all of the plot threads in motion. Kent and Gloucester's discussion of recent events in the country signals that their king is changing and that more change is to come. King Lear repeatedly refers to Cordelia as his favorite, saying she is our joy. However, as soon as she doesn't conform to his expectations, he changes completely. Lear's reaction to his daughter's responses shows that he's in an odd place mentally. He either doesn't know his family nearly as well as he thinks he does, or he's willing to accept everyone at face value. As for his daughters, they immediately show their true natures when they talk amongst themselves. When her sisters dismiss Cordelia's concern and treat their father's actions toward them not as their good fortune but as something to be upset about, they signal their selfishness. Finally, in addition to the themes of family relations, aging, and order, Shakespeare introduces the theme of vision, particularly how important it is, and demonstrating what happens when Lear, and to a lesser extent Gloucester, lack it. Both men are heads of their families and carry considerable social authority, but neither can see who his children truly are or how his actions will influence them.